Okay, so today I went to Harbor Freight and I bought me a new welding hood. So I'm gonna unbox it, which it's kind of a little rough right now because I think somebody opened it in the store to look at it, since there's no no display unit, since this one's fairly new. But basically I went and bought a new helmet since my old one right here, the original Vulcan Vulcan hood that I've had since 2019. The arc sensor on that one's starting to die out. But here's the new hood. Let's see, what else do we get? Let's see, we get an extra battery, or maybe that's not an extra. And then some front and rear shields and 2 battery trays. I'm assuming that's the battery that goes with it. Cool welding bag, or a bag for the hood, which is nice. And your manual. Is that it? Yep, that's it. The camera fell off the tripod even though it was on there all the way, so I have no idea how that happened. And my receiver for my mic fell off and slammed in the ground and shattered. Thankfully still works, but gonna have to get that fixed or buy a new one or something if it's not too expensive. That sucks. Let's hope the rest of this video goes smoother than that, because nah. Okay, so we'll go ahead and open this bag up first just to see. It's actually like a backpack style. So here it is, the hood. I'm gonna try and I think I can get this off without taking the front. Nope. Okay, so I'm gonna have to take all this apart like usual. So one thing that I've noticed so far about this thing I really like is that there's a grind mode button on the outside, which is really handy. All digital on the inside. There's no more buttons or switches. It's all digital. So I'm gonna take all the covers off and get everything kind of ready, and then I'll get back to you. So this one takes 2 batteries. So that's different. I'm used to hoods taking 1 battery. This hood takes 2. That's okay. So that's something to think about. Because I looked at the reviews for this thing and there were no, it didn't say that it took 2 batteries, so just keep that in mind. Batteries. So they just plop in on the side like so. And yeah, okay, so it does run on 2. I was hoping, you know, hey, one would be a backup. Well, this thing better last a long time then. Alright, I heard a little click. It is now on. I can already tell you that this hood is already way more comfortable than this one. Just the headgear alone. Definitely a larger viewing area. It's also definitely a lot louder, but it's also brand new. Some differences between these two is that I've noticed just right off the bat. This is a shiny finish, so it's going to get really, really scratched up. It's also smaller though. This is a matte finish, so this won't scratch up as easily, hopefully. And onto headgear, you just have 4 points. You have the headband, and then you have one here and one here, and nothing back here, and then this little. And one thing I notice is whenever I wear it is that it definitely clamps the front of my head, but then the back of my head, it just kind of slides all over the place. Versus with this one, the new one, you've got the headband here, and you've got those 2 points, and then you have this other section. I don't know if you can see. Probably not. Let me get closer. So with this one, you have the single band right here, the headband, and then you've got the 2, and then one in between, which rotates, it looks like. Yep. And then this bigger clamp in the back. And a lot more room because I got a big fat head and I almost maxed this one out just putting it on. So yesterday was kind of a disaster. We're going to try this again today. But you saw yesterday or in an earlier shot that I got this all unboxed. And some comparison. I don't know if I did any. I don't remember. So in the old one, you've got knobs and switches, and that's how you control this one. With this new one, it's just buttons, which is actually pretty easy. Clearly you got your test button. It runs off of 2 batteries, which I think I showed yesterday. But you just push this button to between shade, sensitivity, and delay, and then, you know, use your arrows to change. It's pretty simple. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to set up my TIG welder, and I'm going to put this new hood to the test. Might help if I hooked up the ground so it doesn't shock the crap out of me. So yeah. Should probably have some filler rod. Alright, so that was a shade 11, I believe. I'm going to bump the shade down to a shade 10 just to see. Alright, so here's the cube all welded up. It's not perfect. Granted, the pieces weren't perfect either, but so I guess some final thoughts for this new hood. So some of the biggest differences I've noticed is the new headgear. The new headgear, I think, is way more comfortable because it actually supports, you know, it has a support here and support in the back, which this one did not have. I really like this grind mode button because you just push the button, it turns it into grind mode. Let's see, some of the things I'm a little concerned about is longevity of the batteries in this thing, since it has 2 batteries. I don't know if it'll last longer than this hood or how long it'll last, but that's just another thing to think about that I didn't see mentioned in the reviews or whatnot. On their side is that it takes 2 batteries, and you know, most hoods take 1 battery, so that's just something to think about. And then another thing is, the other thing I was concerned about is these front lenses. They don't have them in store because I looked. You get 3 spare plus this one whenever you buy the hood, so that should last you a reasonable amount of time, depending on how long or how much you're going to be welding, how much you're going to be. I also saw something the other day. You could use Miller Digital Infinity lenses, I believe, and those will also fit in here. Other than that, it's definitely a lot more clear. The clarity is much better. Other than that, I'm gonna use it a whole bunch, see how I like it. I don't know, probably in a couple weeks or months or whatever, I'll make another video just seeing how this thing's held up and how I like it and stuff like that.